everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Becca and I cook and eat completely plant-based or vegan. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for weekly videos of me cooking and cleaning up my kitchen. Today I'm making two easy meal prep recipes. We have a tofu scramble for breakfast and a roasted veggie bowl with a homemade basil pesto for lunch. And for the roasted veggie grain bowl, I'm prepping some brown rice and green lentils. For the grain bowls, we're using sweet potatoes. I like to leave the skin on just for some added nutrients, but just make sure you wash them. Zucchini, onion, and broccoli. So first things first, let's just chop up our sweet potato. We're gonna chop it up into little cubes.
Yeah, look at us now. This is who we are. And I just know things will never be the same. We're like strangers again. Strangers again. We're like strangers.
Next, I'm chopping up my zucchini and onions. For grain bowls, I love chopping my zucchini up in cubes and half moons. And then for onions, I like to slice them. When chopping broccoli, simply just slice them into bite-sized pieces.
Could have tried much harder. All we have are scars. You said we'd get so high, higher up than heaven.
Now once all the veggies are sliced, you'll want your oven set at about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Line your baking sheets with parchment paper and pour all the produce right on top. Now I'm also adding some chickpeas to roast with the veggies. I love roasting chickpeas because they add a great crunch and also a lot of protein and fiber. Before we place the veggies in the oven, we need to season them. I'm using garlic powder, salt, and pepper on everything, but then just paprika on the sweet potatoes and zucchini, and then chili powder on the chickpeas and onions.
I just know things will never be the same. Like strangers again. Like strangers again.
Now place them in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes, but make sure to check them halfway and give them a little mix. You can also cook them a little longer or shorter. Just cook them to your liking. For our grain bowls, we need a dipping sauce. So I'm gonna make a basil pesto. I'm using 1 handful of spinach, a handful of basil, about 1/3 of a cup of walnuts, half of an avocado, you can't skip this step, 2 cloves of garlic, about 1 to 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice, and salt. So we're just gonna add everything to the blender.
Strangers again.
One last thing before you blend, you want to add water. And we might need to add a little bit more water or some more lemon juice after we see how it tastes. So let's blend.
Letting it go. Spend my coin for sure.
I'm going to add just a little bit more water.
Or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make.
Let's give it a little try.
It's just what I do when I'm out, so try not.
This is so good. I want to get like every single last bit of it. So we have our basil pesto all made. I'm gonna set mine in the fridge just until I'm ready to serve. Now while the veggies are roasting, let's work on our tofu scramble. All you need for the tofu scramble is an onion, some soy sauce, some spices. I'm using nutritional yeast, onion powder, paprika, salt, and pepper. And then while it's cooking, we'll throw in about 2 cups of spinach.
I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. I'm gonna skip my.
So here's my block of tofu. I'm just using 1 pack of it. Just crumble it up with your hands. You can use a fork, you can use a spoon, but my hands are clean, so just use your hands.
When I'm out, so try.
So we have our tofu, our onion, our spices, soy sauce. First heat a pan up, cook my onions, and then add in my tofu with all my seasonings. Now while our pan's heating up, let's mix all of our spices in with our tofu. And our secret ingredient to turn this yellow egg looking is turmeric. This also has a ton of benefits, so if you are cooking with it, make sure you add pepper because that's what activates it. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks. Add in the soy sauce. I'm gonna skip my breaks. I'm gonna make mistakes. Try not to hold me down. Once the onions are softened, add in your tofu mixture and stir everything together. You'll notice after a couple minutes, your tofu color will turn bright yellow, just like the eggs, and this is from the turmeric. Now add in your spinach and cook everything together for about another minute or two, and then you're all done. It's about that time where everything's finishing up. I'm adding my tofu scramble to a bowl, taking my veggies out of the oven, pesto out of the fridge, and grabbing my lentils and rice. Now to assemble the grain bowl, I simply just add the rice or lentils to a container with the veggies and chickpeas. I pour a little basil into the container and voila! You have yourself a meal you can eat now or heat up in the microwave or oven throughout the week. For the tofu scramble, you can enjoy it by itself. If so, I like to add avocado and hot sauce topped with everything but the bagel seasoning. Otherwise, you can wrap it up in a burrito and freeze it, and then just microwave it for a quick, simple breakfast. Thanks for watching, have a great week, and subscribe so you know when I post another delicious plant-based meal.